very certain that there was another dimension to life, that life wasn't just the nuts and bolts of existence as we live it.
This is Sudarshini. She grew up in the UK, transitioning into becoming a Buddhist teacher, designating herself in the Triratna Order, a modern community founded in London.
So this is the Southampton Buddhist Centre. We're a very small centre. There are much larger centres, especially in London and other capital cities.
There are currently 190 Buddhist buildings across England, from pagodas in the historic buildings to temples.
So I was brought up a Christian, and during my teens I was quite a strong Christian. It meant a lot to me. But I had, at the age of, I think, 16, 17, I had what I refer to as my road to Damascus experience in reverse. There was a sudden kind of realisation that there was no God.
Starting to attend classes, the feeling of being an outlier and living two different lives loomed.
Well, it felt both incredibly liberating and left me feeling very vulnerable. There was no protective force or something, nothing looking after me. It was all down to me. I felt very certain that there was another dimension to life, that life wasn't just, the nuts and bolts of existence as we live it. I found, I suppose through meditation, I did discover that there was a way of being which seemed much more expansive, as if I was in touch with something. So this is the reception room where, people gather basically before doing meditation sessions, Buddhism sessions. There is the example of the Buddha who was able, through meditation really, to free, the way it's expressed quite often is that he was able to free his mind.
Having a composed psyche is an integral part of being a Buddhist, with meditation becoming a universal practice for more than 16% of the population.
So this is the shrine room, set up with people to meditate either on cushions or on chairs. This is the shrine. As you see, the figure of the Buddha, which is known as a rupa, it's not, like a graven image that people worship. It is simply a symbol of enlightenment.
Unlike many other religions, the Buddha is not seen as a deity or God, rather an enlightened being.
The last words of the Buddha apparently were, "With mindfulness strive on." But mindfulness in Buddhist terms, it's about being aware, and being aware not only of what's going on now, but being aware of why you're doing what you're doing, and whether what you're doing, it is actually taking you in the direction, what you could say, of enlightenment.
Being enlightened is to find the truth about life. Reincarnation is stopped. Reaching nirvana, somewhere completely void of suffering.
It's horrible, isn't it, if someone says something unpleasant to you? There's a particular feeling involved. But you have a choice of what you do with that. And some choices are much more helpful than others. So that sort of awareness will help to make better choices, basically. You feel like you're hardwired to be a certain way. So changing that is really, really difficult. A lot of people lack self-esteem quite often, especially I think in our society. There's a sort of dual thing really where people don't feel very good about themselves. They cover it up with some sort of persona and sometimes can actually come across as quite arrogant, but they're not really arrogant because they're just trying to build up something. So I think that's one of the reasons you need to have other Buddhists to talk to about it.